Kansas Speedway, a motorsports jewel located in the heartland of America and the site of the inaugural event in the Indy Racing Infiniti Pro Series. Hi everyone, I'm Mike King. Welcome to Kansas Speedway, a big day here for the Indy Racing League as the Infiniti Pro Series is unveiled. And here to talk with us all season about this new series is Scott Goodyear, our driver analyst, former open wheel great. And Scott, for the first time, drivers aspiring to participate in the Indy Racing League and Indy 500 now have a series where they can get trained to run in those cars.
They truly do, Mike. They have a car that's 450 horsepower, a little bit less weight than the Indy car, but they get an opportunity to race on the tracks that the Indy cars do, so they truly get a chance to hone their skills.
We've also have a situation here where we have some racing legacies that are sure to be continued.
Absolutely. A.J. Foyt IV, R. Lyondike Jr., some great names in the past, probably great names in the future also.
The third member of our broadcast team for these Infiniti Pro Series events is Kim Morris. She's standing by with our pole sitter on the grid.
Thanks, Mike. A bit of history unfolding here at Kansas with the debut of the Infiniti Pro Series. A.J. Foyt IV will go down in the books as the first ever pole sitter in this series. Congratulations. Let's talk about that qualifying run, an amazing one for you and your team.
Yeah, we knew we had to get the car up to speed in a hurry, so right when I got on the track, I just got on as fast as I could and get all my momentum up for the 2 laps and had a real good warm-up lap, and then the final lap seemed to be the best and good enough for the pole.
With a name like Foyt, there's no denying your legendary racing roots. What has your grandfather told you to get you to this point?
He's been helping me ever since day one, since junior dragsters to go-karts to Formula Continentals. He's been standing by my side the whole time, and couldn't ask any more out of him, and he's been great to me, and hopefully we can do good for him.
He may be A.J. Foyt IV, but he'll start in the #1 spot today here at Kansas.
Thanks, Kim. Here's a look at the starting lineup for this inaugural Infiniti Pro Series event. A.J. Foyt IV from Hockley, Texas on pole. Next to him from Jackson, Michigan, Ronnie Johncox. In row number 2, Jason Priestley out of Vancouver, British Columbia. He's joined by 19-year-old Aaron Fike from Galesburg, Illinois in row 2. In row 3, Ed Carpenter out of Indianapolis, Indiana is joined by Matthew Halliday from Auckland, New Zealand. In row 4, Arie Luyendyk Jr. from Den Bosch, the Netherlands, joined by Marty Roth out of Toronto. In row 5, Gary Peterson out of Huntington Beach, California is joined by G.J. Minnan from Austin, Texas. And in row 6, Mike Koss from Coldwater, Michigan, joined by Corey Witherill from Los Angeles. One of our 2 onboard cameras today being carried by Ed Carpenter, the Menard-sponsored entry. Arie Luyendyk Jr. will carry our other onboard camera here today at Kansas Speedway. And Scott, a lot of anxious anticipation, I'm sure, at the start of this one.
Always for drivers, Mike, because the beginning of the race is always an exciting time, a dangerous time sometimes, but in a brand new series, all these guys are facing a lot of unknowns about their cars and about the racetrack that they're visiting for the very first time.
A warm day at Kansas Speedway as we get set to kick off the inaugural event in the Infiniti Pro Series here at Kansas Speedway. Green flag should come out anytime it does in the tri-oval, and we are racing. Looks like A.J. Foyt IV has gotten a good jump, Scott, on the field.
Well, every time you get to a green flag, if you can lead going into turn 1, you look in your mirror, see how far the guy in second is behind you, and that's a good lead right now. So his job is just to keep his foot on the pedal and keep going.
Off of turn number 2, it looks like about an 8-car length lead for Foyt IV. Battling behind him, you see in the white car, that is Ronnie Johncox, and Aaron Fike has made his way into 3rd place. Fike, once again, the USAC Silver Crown and Midget veteran from Galesburg, Illinois, battling. And once again, though, there's the 18-year-old phenom, A.J. Foyt IV. Right now, he looks to be in good shape. He's opened up about a 15-car length lead.
All in one lap, he gets to lead the first lap in the history books of this series. And not only that, but he's A.J. Foyt, who's behind. Obviously, the team has done a great job with his car. Seems like he's got some speed out of it.
We see Jason Priestley right now. Remember, a year ago, this guy was in the booth for ABC and ESPN. Jason Priestley running 4th, pretty respectable right now. But we take a look at Aaron Fike as he tries to go to the outside, Scott, of that Ronnie Johncox machine. Can he make the pass by himself? That's the big question. Of course, these 2 guys are running by themselves. Does he have the power? We're looking now from on board at Ed Carpenter's car. You see on the inside, we're taking a look as he goes. Oh, we've got a problem in 2. Ed Carpenter was trying to make his way around Jason Priestley when suddenly on the outside, Scott, it appeared that Matthew Halliday had a problem. We also see that looks like Gary Peterson, who has come sliding by. Everyone, it looks like, may have escaped this with the exception of Halliday. Any idea what might have gone wrong there?
Well, looks like he might have got a little bit loose going into the turn, and then he corrected and got it into the wall, and that was a huge hit.
Big
Mike,
hit.
I can tell you from experience that is a huge hit going into the wall. And as you say, 180 miles an hour. Those guys are going quite quickly.
The best track safety team in the business, the Indy Racing track safety team, is attending to Halliday's machine. You see the 27, that is Peterson's car. We thought we saw him sliding through. Here's a replay, Scott.
Well, it looks like the car is just a little bit high. The back end gets a little bit loose, and the driver's natural reaction is to correct the car to stop it from sliding. Then the car hooks up to the pavement again, but the steering wheel's turned right, and it takes him right into the wall for that big hit.
And there's the 27 car of Peterson, who does a good job of saving it. He obviously just reacting to what he saw in front of him. Here once again, another replay.
Absolutely. It looks like maybe just a little bit high in that gray area. When you look at the track, you want to be in that dark area, in the black area where all the rubber is. Might have got the car a little bit high in the gray area on the entrance. Might have even have lifted off the throttle if we felt the back end of the car come around, but as soon as the car corrects itself and the car hooks back up, takes you to the way that the steering is directed, which was right into the wall.
And Scott, let's remind everyone, this is exactly what this type of race car is supposed to do.
Absolutely. The destruction you see there with the car is supposed to happen. The car has done its job. The car can destruct, can absorb all the impact going into the wall, and these cars are just a very similar, smaller car than the IRL cars, and for certain, he should be okay.
Well, the track safety crew once again will attend to Matthew Halliday as the track goes yellow. We're going to step away for a couple of minutes, and we'll be back to Kansas Speedway with more Infiniti Pro Series action right after this. So the Infiniti Q45 pace car has the field in tow as we get set to go back to green flag racing. 15 laps are complete, so that means we'll be scoring 16 this time by. Green flag will be out as they approach the tri-oval, and Scott, we're on board with Ed Carpenter.
Yeah, you saw him reach down on the shifter, going up through the gears. Restarts are usually in second, going up to fifth, maybe sixth gear. Now the next couple of laps, you're going to wait for the tire pressures to come up and the tire temperatures to come up on those Firestone tires, and then they'll start clicking off some laps.
And you can see from Ed's car just how good a jump A.J. Foyt IV had on the rest of the field. There he goes through turn 3, and the 91 car of Aaron Fike running second. Back on board again with Ed Carpenter.
Nice line up high. These guys are starting to run high. Ari Jr. now slipping on the inside. Probably got a draft off of him, and now he finds himself clicking off a spot.
G.J. Menon running just in front of Ari Leyendijk Jr. and Ed Carpenter as we watch from the behind of Ari Leyendijk Jr.'s car. He's going to pull beside of Menon, trying to make the pass on the outside off of 2.
Oh, a nice high line. Lines like his dad used to run. Ari Sr. used to always run up high and be able to take guys on the high side. Nice smooth line, and here he goes now down towards the inside of 3.
Boy, he really did, though, move very low on the racetrack in that entrance to 3.
Yeah, very sharp move, and you want to be a little smoother maybe. But that's what this whole Infiniti Pro Series is all about, running on the ovals, getting experience on these tracks, which these guys maybe don't have. You got to find the smoothness.
Well, we're watching right now Jason Priestley hug the white line with those left side tires as he's trying to hold off Ari Jr. once again on board with Ari Jr.
Now watch him slipstream here, start to get a little bit of a draft from the car in front. That means the car in front itself starts to break the hole, and you saw some dust going up in the back of turn 2 over there. It was from the accident. It's a little bit of oil dry, nothing to be too concerned about.
Jason Priestley runs 4th as they enter the tri-oval. Ari Leyendijk Jr. runs 5th, and then you see the other 3 cars behind him. Ed Carpenter will try to go to the low side of Menon, and here comes Corey Witherill. So we've got a lot of cars now, Scott, running together, and it seems that the farther we get into a stint, the more cars are grouped tightly together on this racetrack.
And that's great, Mike. It gives these guys a lot of experience running wheel-to-wheel on these types of tracks because they're all aspiring to get involved in the Indy Racing League one day to run the Indy cars. Here you can see him get off the throttle a little bit with Ed Carpenter. That means the car in front is taking away some of the downforce on his car. He breathes the throttle to get the car tucked back down. 5
cars now running over 180 miles an hour, but Scott, Ari Leyendijk Jr. the quickest at over 181 miles an hour, so he has apparently found a line around this track that he likes.
A line, maybe a little bit of drafting. We talked about the cars breaking the hole in the air in front for you. Now what happens, these guys are all starting to run together, and you're really like a swirl pot, almost like you got the air going around the racetrack, helps build up the speed. If you do 178, 179 yourself, you'll find yourself running at 180, 181 without a problem.
We're watching the leaders up front, and it looks like the lead that A.J. Foyt IV had built up is now beginning to shrink slowly but surely.
Well, the job of these 2 guys right now with Fike and John Cox is to run nose to tail. Run the track, the guys in front of you, and make sure it's nice and even. Run his line, and you guys will actually break the wind better together and catch up to Foyt real quickly.
So A.J. Foyt IV, who had built what looked to be a commanding lead, some 25, perhaps 30 car lengths. Now, Scott, working on less than a 4-car length lead over second place Aaron Fike.
And they really gained through the tri-oval here because obviously Foyt's car has to break the wind in front.
And Ari Leyendijk Jr. with another nice move as he goes to the outside of Jason Priestley. He's going to make the pass on the high side in turn number 2.
Lines like his dad used to always run, nice and high. Up real high there. You saw some of that oil dry from from the accident. Maybe that's just a bit too high.
So Arie Luyendyk Jr. is going to pick up fourth, but up front, we've got a good battle brewing here in the Infiniti Pro Series at Kansas Speedway. Back at Kansas Speedway, Mike King along with Scott Goodyear. We are getting set to complete 28 of 67 laps here in our inaugural Infiniti Pro Series event. Scott, they'll run 100 miles here today. That's 67 laps. And right now, A.J. Foyt IV has his hands full with Ronnie Johncox. Foyt had built a big lead early, but it has all but evaporated.
It certainly has, Mike, and right now he's got a fight going on his hands going on to turn 3 right now. But, you know, some great close racing here, and that's what these guys are here to do, to learn about side-by-side racing on these types of tracks.
Ronnie Johncox, 33 years old, out of Jackson, Michigan. He, of course, has 8 starts in the Indy Racing League under his belt. Meantime, the guy up front, 18 years old, and A.J. Foyt IV, most of his training has been in karts. He did run Formula Continentals this past year. And then 19-year-old Aaron Fike, a USAC Silver Crown and midget specialist who runs in 3rd right now. Interesting to see the backgrounds where these guys are coming from.
A various background that they have right now, but I mean, these guys are running smooth lines, nice and fast, nice and smooth, sometimes getting a little bit too low on that white line, but they're here to learn. But right now they're clicking off these laps nose to tail. They need to keep doing this, because if they start fighting too much and going side by side, that latter group will start to pick up and catch up to them.
We continue to see Johncox pop to the outside and try to make the pass. Meantime, Fike has laid back and watched the battle. Who is in control in this situation? Because clearly it would seem that if you run with another car, you're faster than if you try to run by yourself.
Absolutely. We'll see this right now. Fike picks a partner right now. If it's Johncox or Foyt, he'll help push that car further forward and actually find himself maybe picking himself up to 2nd.
A.J. Foyt IV, and he talked about it before the race, said that Granddad told him to stick those left side tires on the white line and do not give up that position. Looks like right now he's a pretty good student.
Well, not only is he doing that in turns 1 and 2, but he's also doing it in the trial that we just saw. The fastest way around a racetrack usually is on the low side. Don't let anybody get underneath you.
Foyt, Johncox, and Fike run 1, 2, 3. Of course, as we mentioned, drivers in the Infiniti Pro Series come from a variety of racing backgrounds. Take, for example, Ed Carpenter, a former national quarter midget champ who started racing when he was 8, USAC National Sprint Car Rookie of the Year. Let's take a moment to meet Ed Carpenter.
I started racing quarter midgets when I was 8 years old.
Yeah, there's young Ed Carpenter there.
And then I've been running USAC. I started running Silver Crown in 2000. And then in 2001, I started running sprint cars. And now this year, I'm finally in the Pro Series, getting closer to my goal, making it to the 500.
I always lifted to keep space in the front.
The biggest difference was actually holding it flat going into the corner, because usually in my USAC cars, I'm all the way out of the gas and on the brakes. So first couple of times I held it flat, it's just like, I hope it sticks, and then it did, so I just went from there. I mean, it's just a lot of work, really. I've been full-time for 3 years. I'm going to be a senior this year, and this is going to be my toughest year, because I'm getting to the point in my racing career where I'm almost to where I want to be, and I'm putting all my energy into that. And I keep putting less energy into school. It's not what my teachers want to hear, but it's just, I don't know, you just kind of have to do a balancing act. I'm really comfortable because I have the same team for the Pro Series and all my Silver Crown sprint cars, so we're all work together. So it brings the confidence that I have from the other series into this, and then now it's just a matter of me getting used to this type of car, and as soon as I do that, I think we'll be able to win races.
So as we rejoin the racing, we are watching now from onboard Arie Luyendyk Jr.'s car, the battle for the lead. Ronnie Johncox on the outside, A.J. Foyt IV. Scott continuing to hug the white line as they enter the tri-oval.
Well, he's been down there all day long, Mike. Like you said, the fastest way around there certainly is on the low side. He doesn't want to give that up.
We watch Arie Luyendyk Jr. as he seemingly is running a very erratic line, Scott. He moves to the low side to the high side. Is he looking for a way around these guys 3 wide?
Well, he's certainly getting the break right now in front of him with these guys breaking the air for him. But, you know, I'd like to see him a little bit smoother, running high, running low, and a little bit like a road car horse driver right now.
So we watched the top 3 cars, and once again on board with Arie Luyendyk Jr. as they approach the Tri-Oval at over 180 miles an hour in this inaugural Infiniti Pro Series event. We also see Aaron Fike, who seems content right now to watch these top 3 battle it out, and he's kind of going to settle in there, I guess, and choose his spot.
Well, he was below the white line, and thankfully for him, is actually in the Tri-Oval area where that hinge point is not that different as it is in the turns. You certainly don't want to get below the white line.
Once again, the battle for the lead out front, the Harris machine. That is the A.J. Foyt entry, driven by A.J. Foyt the fourth. On the outside, you see Ronnie John Cox. Then the red and white car of Arie Luyendyk Jr. The purple and silver car, that is Aaron Fike. And now Jason Priestley has worked himself back into this lead pack. He runs 5th.
He does. Ed Carpenter, you can see just off your screen, he's catching up because all these guys there again are breaking the air for him, getting a good pack of racing going on here. These guys are gaining a lot of experience in these type of cars. 8,200 RPM, 450 horsepower, these Q45 engines really singing along right now.
Arie Luyendyk going to the low side. Oh, he and John Cox touch, Scott, not good.
Oh, Mike, below the white line. We talked about that a couple of times here. We'll have to look back at a replay, but I think he got below the white line, especially in these turns, getting down to that flat banking. I think that the problem happens that the car loses its downforce and you lose control.
There, apparently, Aaron Fike has also been involved in this incident, and we had just talked about the fact that the 19-year-old from Galesburg, Illinois, was kind of sitting back and waiting for the right time. Apparently, though, he's not going to have the opportunity because he gets caught in an incident that essentially involves, you see the white car, the 8 car of Ronnie John Cox, sitting just on the grass, just off of the apron, and then the safety workers, the Indy Racing League safety team, making their way to the red and white car of Arie Luyendyk Jr. So Aaron Fike, maybe he wasn't giving them enough room to play.
Well, he might have been a bystander basically on this because I didn't really see how he got involved, but we see Arie Luyendyk Jr. getting out of the car right now, and I think right now it's unfortunate for both these guys. They had such a strong race going on, and you can see some displeasure out of Arie Luyendyk Jr., but if I was him, I think I'd want to go back and see the replay.
Well, here is the replay, and Scott, break it down for us.
Well, you saw Luyendyk Jr. get below the white line. As I mentioned a second ago, I think what happens basically is you lose control of the car, you lose some downforce. The car looked like it just slid up only by about a foot or so and caught John Cox, and then started that chain reaction.
Here it is again, and we see the left side tires below the white line, and it looked like as Arie just drifted back up the track a bit to try to get back in the groove, he touched the side pod, and Aaron Fike, as you mentioned, an innocent bystander. He had nowhere to go. Here we are back on board with Arie Jr.
Arie takes advantage of the draft. He gets that slipstream, gets a little bit of advantage going to 3, and see those tires are below the white line, absolutely, and then it sort of rockets itself up very quickly, and then it makes contact.
We also saw Ed Carpenter's car come sliding through sideways through the debris. It does not appear, though, that his car made any contact. So he has apparently dodged a bullet, but he does flat spot those tires.
Flat spot those tires, and what happens with that, Mike, is sure enough, you'll have a vibration on those tires. He'll probably have to find himself in pit lane to put on 4 brand new Firestone Firehawks.
So a multi-car incident involving Ronnie John Cox, Arie Luyendyk Jr., and Aaron Fike has brought out the yellow flag here at Kansas Speedway. Along with Scott Goodyear, I'm Mike King. Welcome back to Kansas Speedway. We're watching the final laps of the inaugural Indy Racing Infiniti Pro Series event wind down. And Scott, despite the fact that he is just 18 years old, A.J. Foyt IV has really driven this race like a veteran today.
Mike, he's done an incredible job. Sat on the pole, led more laps today than anybody else, and if he just keeps it smooth for the next few laps here, he'll have his first victory.
We're on board now with Ed Carpenter, and unfortunately, this is not a race for position. Ed finds himself 1 lap down, Scott.
And he does so because, Mike, he flat spotted his tires in that previous accident. He had to come into the pits. The crew changed the tires for him, but not quick enough to get it in front of the pace car, so it put him down a lap, although he finds himself running in second on the racetrack right now.
Scott, we noticed some moisture on the in-car camera lens there.
Nothing to be worried about. That moisture is coming from the car in front. That's not raindrops coming down. There's an overflow tank on all these cars, and probably just a little moisture coming off the tube of the overflow tank coming onto the lens. Nothing to be concerned about whatsoever.
Well, we watch once again your lead car take the white flag. That is the Harris-sponsored machine of A.J. Foyt IV, and this guy has a bright future in front of him, no doubt about it.
He certainly does. That Q45 motor right now, 450 horsepower behind him, is 180 miles an hour laps. That's great for a training series, which they're running in right now. All these guys are ambitious to be able to run the Indy cars in the future.
Ed Carpenter once again runs behind Foyt. However, he is actually shown in 5th place. Jason Priestley runs 2nd. as the lap car separates first and second place. And here comes A.J. Foyt IV. He will take the twin checkered flags here today at Kansas Speedway, gets the applause of his granddad and his team owner, and that man has got to be happy to be back in victory lane for the first time since the 1999 Indy 500. Kim Morris has A.J. Foyt Jr.
Well, he's been strong all weekend here, A.J., topping the speed charts. I know you're so proud of him.
Well, I was proud of him. Next to last lap, a little 180.5. He did a hell of a job. First time ever racing big cars. Awful proud of him.
Congratulations. On his way to victory lane, that's A.J. Foyt to say congratulations to his grandson.
A.J. Foyt IV is your winner. Mike Koss, the final car on the lead lap, finishes 4th. Ronnie John Cox, Ari Lyondike Jr., and Aaron Feit come home 9th, 10th, and 11th after the 3-car incident. Matthew Halliday 12th after the single-car crash in 2. Kim Morris has our winner.
A.J. Foyt IV wins the inaugural event. That was quite a domination out there.
Thank you. That was a real good race. A lot of good drivers out there, good wheel-to-wheel action, good for the fans. Hopefully we can get this series going for the next race and next season.
Well, you're off to a good start. That was a frightening crash between Ari Jr. and Ronnie John Cox. Were you able to see any of that?
I saw some of it in my rear view mirror, but I was just, everybody's racing good, racing hard, and sometimes that kind of stuff happens. Really nobody's fault, just unfortunate running wheel-to-wheel racing.
Congratulations. A.J. Foyt IV from victory lane at Kansas Speedway.
So an exciting debut here today at Kansas Speedway. A reminder, you can join us August the 8th from Nashville Super Speedway for our next Infiniti Pro Series event. For Scott Goodyear and Kim Morris, I'm Mike King. Congratulations to A.J. Foyt IV. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.